I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be sitting next to the legendary living legend, icon, one of the pioneers. Some would say, I would say, you created, well, you had a big hand in the creation of, how would I want to put it? Not conscious rap, but rap that didn't make me want to suck a
With a
dick.
message.
Yeah, rap with a message. I just said suck a dick. I'm sorry. Most rap songs are like, bitch, suck this dick. I'd be like, okay.
Which is fine
Which
with me.
is fine.
I have the toolery for it.
Yeah, hello.
It fits.
And you're there if
Right.
the situation comes and it needs to be there.
Right. I'm
but
not, right.
your music was a different type of music. You know, CL Smooth and Pete Rock that made people listen like, wait a minute, there's something there's a message in here?
Messages, instruments, culture.
Like orchestras
Yes,
sounded like?
orchestras, young men that believe in the renaissance of music and the history of music.
See, Renaissance. The fact that you said Renaissance makes a vagina throb.
Ugh,
The fuck. I'm sorry.
I love vagina.
I love the word. That was in college. I had a lot of vagina in college.
That's like the stairway to heaven
and
on earth.
yes.
The stairway to heaven.
yes.
Man's heaven.
And the
is-
whole to humanity.
Right.
Like that's
Yes.
where everything is created from. That's my favorite word.
Well, why would man do anything without that?
or why
Or
would,
why wouldn't he do anything not to have that?
and why would he do anything detrimental to hurt that?
To hurt that.
Like,
True.
are you serious?
Yeah.
Now I can see fucking up the vagina, but don't fuck up the vagina.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of weird. Well, okay, so let me ask you 1 second, because being of a man of a particular age, I'm in my 50s,
I'm in my 50s too.
and I could tell by listening to your music that you have been influenced. You had a positive influence in your life.
Right.
You can tell. I'm gonna go out here on a limb and say it was your grandfather, the biggest
Absolutely.
positive influence on your life.
Right.
What about your father? What was that relationship like?
Well, it was funny because my birth father, he wasn't really there, you know, and thank God, because I wouldn't have been able to develop the way I had in my morals and in my principles and standards of trying to become a man.
Why do you say that you wouldn't be if he was there? Because he was a certain type of guy?
Yeah, it always takes a certain type of guy to be your teacher and your mentor and somebody who protects you, but makes you honor who you came from. And I think with biological fathers, it's a hit or miss.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But somebody can come in outside and really give you an image and a thought and a guide to what fathers need to be, because they were serious at that time.
Your grandfather, is this your father's father or your mother's father?
My mother's father, of course.
Okay, of course, yeah.
My mom's father. And he's basically what CL is. CL is his grandfather, but on a rap level. So how he walks, how he carries his
Was he
bag.
a pimp?
How,
Not
no,
not in the sense of being a
in the
pimp,
sense
but like
of-
a little
yes,
smooth,
a stud,
like yeah.
a little baby stud that had all the increments and all the forbidden fruits of what you can be and what you couldn't be, all wrapped in one. But what a hell of a grandfather he was. What a hell of a grandfather.
So my son does not know his biological father.
Okay.
And my father, his grandfather, stepped up tremendously. Like you would say that he stepped up to everything.
Right.
You know, paying for things, you know, just being there, just that's his view, that's his vision when it comes to a man.
Right.
Of, you know, in the family that, you know, and my brother.
I'm the same way. I'm the same exact way as your son. I'm the same way. My mentors are my grandfather, my uncles. The real uncles.
Yeah. Oh,
The real uncles.
oh my God. So my brother.
The ones with the muscles, the ones that lift you up and put you in the air with
come
one
get you
hand.
at 5 o'clock in the
Come
morning
give
and
you
take
your
you
first
fishing.
pair of sneakers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know about fishing because we city boys. So,
Forgot New
you know,
York.
the privilege of going fishing would not be my forte.
Right.
So, but that's something I can listen to in the stories and envy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
a city boy, all we can get is a bike and a big wheel and do our thing. You know what I mean? But fishing, that's the essence of where you
Yeah,
live.
my brother used to go pick my son up 5 in the morning,
Go fishing.
take him out there, yeah, and talk to him. And
Yeah.
you know, he was a barber, so they used to
Keep them sharp.
Yeah, no, my son that was his first job, sweeping hair at his
that's
uncle's,
awesome.
you know,
At his
barber
uncle's
shop.
business.
Yeah, so
And teaching him how to fish. So he doesn't never, ever have to worry about somebody going to give him something. He's showing them early how to get his own.
right.
That's
Wow,
beautiful.
that's big.
Yeah, that's
Man,
super big.
that's super big.
That's why we need uncles, we need aunts, we need grandparents, we need mothers and fathers. We need them.
Yeah.
They're essential to our growth. They're essential to our wanting to be better than them.
And you have 2 kings.
Yes.
You have
Awesome.
2 kings.
Awesome.
What are their ages now?
Their ages are 31 and 29.
Now, when you were young, because you had them like when you were, what age were
I had
you?
to be like 22. when
Like
I started.
22?
22 and 25.
And this is in the middle of your career, like everything is going and moving fast.
God bless.
And so you have these kings.
Yes.
How did fatherhood look like to you? How was you able to be the rapper, the father?
I wanted my own table so bad that I was willing to be a father to get it. So those were that wasn't my plan when I got some money.
Now, was
My
this a
plan-
oops baby?
Huh?
Was these babies like the condom broke for real, or wasn't trying to? Because some people plan pregnancies. What was
I
it?
think with me, I wanted a kid. If it happened, if it materialized.
So you was just shooting the club up.
Yeah, I was shooting the club up, and I wanted this child because I wanted my own table.
Was it with your woman? Was it with a
Oh,
girlfriend?
of course it's going to be your woman.
Okay.
Of course it's
It
going
was
to
with
be
your
your woman
woman?
because
Okay.
it's going to be your child's mother.
Right.
You know, because you're shooting up the club. Of course, something's going to happen. It's body man down. Right, man down. So we came out with this child, and having kids young is the best thing in the world, especially
Really?
when you can afford them.
Why would you say that?
Because you get to grow up with
Because
them.
I'm opposite.
You get to grow up with them. You get to make all the mistakes early. And then my second life in my 50s, you're all grown. You all know the truth. Your mother can't pull that. You know what it is. So now I get to have my second life, still fairly young enough to have the rest of it.
That's so.
But I spent my young years where I can crawl on the floor with you, where I can cry with you, where I can fight for you, where I can run for you. In my 50s, I ain't running for nothing.
Shit. Run. You seen these knees? The
You know what I'm
fuck?
saying?
The
I ain't
fuck?
running for nothing. We gonna relax and you let me know when we get there.
And we're going to walk slow.
Yeah, and we gonna walk slow, but we gonna walk.
Right? We
Right.
still walking though.
Right.
We still walking though.
Right.
Okay, so you had your kings in your 20s. How was it like fathering them on the road, touring? Like at what point did you say, okay,
It was rough. It was rough because you're young and you get your first couple of checks. So you're going from no money to a lot of money. Then you have to sow your oats. So you got
what
a
does
lot
that
of
mean?
well, you got a lot of vagina.
Oh. For some reason, when you said that, I was thinking of Coming to America. I was like, wait a minute, Eddie Murphy moved it just so it's
You
Royal
got a lot
Oats.
of vagina.
Yeah, when you're on,
And you have
especially
to
on
you
tour.
have to manage that.
Right, right.
You know, and you're still young.
Yeah, so you want it.
You want it. You
Yeah.
want what you can't have.
Yeah, yeah.
So you have to get that out of your system. And I always felt justified because I always brought all my money home. So I always felt justified to move my dinglings
Oh,
in a different
because
position.
I'm taking care right
As
here.
long as I bring my money home first, I can leave
And do
and
whatever I
push
need
my
to do.
penis somewhere else.
Wow. And did you have a verbal conversation with your baby's mother?
Well, it's always
about
going to
that,
be the
or was it
conflict. That's the
understood?
conflict. That's the conflict.
It was understood.
I should be entitled to do what I want
Because
the way I want to do it, because first of all, my life is my life. If I went from nothing to something, then something has to be done with that something.
right.
You can't leave it dormant like if it's not there. You have to live this
gotta
life.
live
So
this
you have to
life.
make the mistakes as well.
Right.
So in order to make the mistakes and be wise, you have to let them go and get it out of the system.
Was she understanding?
Oh, of course not.
I was about to say, oh, of course.
No, of course not.
So what did that look like?
It made you double down on your fatherhood. It made you double down on your commitment to excellence with your children. If you want to play with your ding-a-ling, you got to put
Oh, yeah.
extra time.
So you had to
into your
show
children.
up.
Yeah, you got to show up. You got to
Yeah.
be involved.
So she ain't
You
got
gotta
nothing to say.
Right, because this is what it is. Now, 25 years later,
About to ask you
we
that.
can all talk as civilized grown-ups. You know,
Would you do it the same way again if it happened just now?
yes,
Like
because I like to make mistakes early in life. You know, when you're an old player, it don't look right.
who taught you that to learn to make mistakes? Like who? Because a lot of people are fearful. They don't jump into life. They don't open the business. They don't, fly to Cancun. They don't do anything because they're fearful of the mistake. Like they're fearful of the failure. How did you learn to see failure head on and be okay with it?
I learned because failure is an option. Either it's a lesson learned in failure. So failure goes to a certain extent, and then you have to find the solution in it.
Right.
And then once you find the solution in the failure, it becomes sort of like a lesson. So you could look at failure as a lesson and an experience,
And it is.
not to repeat that again. So now you're able to grow straight and you're able to evolve into something much greater than when you were making that same mistake as a little boy. So we're going to do all these things as a young man, a little boy. We're going to play little boy games. And then once we become a man, we put away the childish things.
Okay. Is that in the Bible?
Sure it is.
Thought I heard that before.
Sure it is.
How you feel about the Bible? Like you're a very spiritual being. I would say you're more spiritual than religious. Would
Right.
you say that?
Correct. Because church is home.
Wherever
People
you
feel
at.
like they have to go to church in order to be sanctified. And church is home. It starts at home. Home is your church. You can't do all that worldly stuff and then every Sunday we at church thinking we're clean. It doesn't work like that. We have to be able to be at home, and home is church. Home is our table. Like I told you earlier, I was so adamant on making my own table. See, when you grow up and you don't grow up, when you grow up with all these dysfunctions in trying to be a man and going the wrong routes and making the wrong decisions, it doesn't allow you to grow straight. But when you allow yourself to open your mind,
You had dysfunctions
of course, you all have dysfunctions.
because your father wasn't there.
He wasn't there. Then you had a father that you had that adopted you.
Stepdad.
And loved, a stepdad that adopted you and became your dad.
Oh wow, that's amazing, right? How'd you feel about
It's
that?
awesome. But when you're young, you don't understand it. All you're understanding is they're taking you away from your security blanket, which is your grandparents. You're not
You
married
didn't think
to-
he was
you're
taking
not
you away
married
from
to
your
this-
mom. You was thinking he was taking you away from your grandparents.
Yeah, because I was connected to them more. I was connected to my mom. My mom was my mom, but my grandparents were like my portable Jesus and my mother Mary.
You know what? This is so crazy because I feel like my son is gonna have this exact conversation, because his grandparents are life, like they are right here, right there. Like his grandma is his best friend,
Yeah, there you go.
and I'm like, what the fuck?
You could tell her
Who am I?
anything.
Chopped liver?
No, it's that your mom is looking at you a certain way, and your grandparents look at you as a totality, as a human being, as an emotional vessel that they raised. So they're looking at you different. They're looking at you like you're really CL Smooth. They're not looking at you like my mom looks at me, like, that's just Corey. That's his job.
Yeah.
When he
He's
gets finished
supposed
with
to
that,
take the trash
yeah.
out. It's Corey,
Right,
yeah.
right, it's Corey. But my
yeah.
grandparents are like, do you know who this is?
Wow, I didn't realize.
Do
Yeah,
you know
that
what
makes
this
sense.
is? We always had the less of everybody because they're the grandparents. And now when I became CL Smooth, our house became famous. So the little house that got all the hand-me-downs became the house to be.
So your grandparents were still alive when you became famous?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so
Praise God.
what's the first thing you purchased them? Like, what did you do?
I think it wasn't what you purchased, it's what you became.
Yeah,
To them.
that's the glory for them.
Yeah.
But what did you do? Like, how did you go out and show, like,
Well,
yo,
well, it wasn't. It was so easy to please them because all they wanted was cash money.
really?
Yeah, all you had to do was give them cash money, and they were good.
And they would just go out and buy shit.
Well, Grandma was always somebody who liked to maybe go to the casino,
Okay.
and Grandpa, which we call Papa, he liked to relax and maybe order a couple of hoes and smoke a couple of joints.
Did you say horse?
Yes, horse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why?
We weren't allowed to call them bitches.
Hoes
Hoes
was
were, yeah.
sufficient.
Hoes was sufficient.
Let me tell you, my grandfather, my father's father, he had a whole other family. Like, he had a whole nother family. Like, serious to God. And everyone knew, you know what I'm saying? But it was just, everyone just never talked about it.
Right.
And it was just so weird, like, to know that your granddaddy got, I wouldn't even say that it was his hoes. That, like, I really feel like he probably loved that lady, you know.
He loved my grandma, but it was just, they were partying at that time. Oh, we're teenagers.
Yeah.
You know, you and I were teenagers. In those times, you stayed in the child's place, but you looked out.
Hell yeah, you
But you
did.
looked out for your elders.
Yeah.
It was mandatory because I was so scared of them. It was the healthy respect. So I had to look out for them. If it got over, you know, because in those times things were happening. You had crack out there. You had all these things. People were losing their grandparents and their parents. When
Yeah.
I was a teenager,
Yeah.
they were losing them. So to have grandparents was a premium. To have parents was a premium.
Yeah.
So I was always grateful. And I always wanted to write about them. And I said, as soon as somebody can listen to me, I would write about the people who inspired me.
When did you start writing? What age?
I think as a young kid.
What
When you're
age?
always on, I think maybe 8, 9 years old.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm always on punishment. So they'll take the TV.
Don't skip past that. Why are you always on punishment? What
Maybe
kid were
asking
you?
questions.
What?
Too many questions.
You would get on punishment for asking questions?
Yeah, I remember the main question that always put me on punishment.
What was it?
When they used to say, stay in a child's place.
And you would say?
And I would say, well, who do you want me to ask? Where do you want me to go to ask? The street?
And you was like, so you want me to?
Right. I'm asking you. You're the adult.
Oh.
I'm 8 years old. I'm asking you. You're saying stay in a child's place. How am I supposed to learn what to know if you're the adult looking out for me and you're telling me stay in a child's place and I'm asking you a question?
And you would say that?
Yeah, it lasted up till 15. I had to leave at 15.
You left the house at 15?
Yeah, they kicked me out.
No, not kicked you out.
Yeah.
Are you serious? That's
Yeah,
trauma.
they kicked me out. No, I'm glad they did.
But that's traumatizing at
Of course,
15.
to a 15-year-old. But
But
it
where
was
the fuck did you go?
to grandma and grandpa.
You goddamn right. You goddamn right. Couldn't wait to get there.
Yeah,
you
you
said,
ain't
fuck it, I'll leave my
You
shit.
said nothing.
I'm on my way.
Oh, you gonna have a good sleep, so
Hello.
will I.
Hello.
Yeah,
Wow.
who's the parents?
Man, so did they ever sit you down? Who talked about sex to you?
I think, you know, of course, my grandfather, because I was exposed to the hoes.
Really?
Yeah, he liked
brought
to
him
stretch-
around you?
No, well, we lived together. It was just me and him.
Oh, he wasn't with his.
No, Grandma had her own spot because we're the dirty guys.
Did they
We're not-
divorce or
Yes,
were
they
they
did.
just separated?
They did, but we had respect for the both of them.
Okay.
Because both of them held seniority and rank in this big family.
Okay.
So despite Grandma is not going to deal with
The
him.
hoe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's going to be on a lower tier than Grandma would be.
Mm-hmm.
Grandma's sort of up here, and he's sort of down with us. Grandpa is like, you could tell him anything about anything.
What was something did you ever tell your grandfather about like a STD or?
Yeah, I remember telling him about that when I was a teenager.
What age?
I would think like maybe, I was a late bloomer, so maybe 16.
Your first sexual experience was at 16?
I was at 16.
I remember I got gonorrhea when I was a sophomore in high school, and I was living with my father, and he had to take me to the goddamn hospital because I let it go for so long. My pussy was on fire. Like, I couldn't even like walk. My shit was like. So finally I was like, Daddy, I need to go to the hospital. And he's like, why? I'm hurting.
Why didn't you tell your mom?
Because they were already divorced.
Oh, so you couldn't tell her exactly what
She
you could tell
she
him.
my mom lived in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and my dad lived in Maryland, like the DC area.
But what would made you tell Daddy instead of
Because I lived with my daddy.
Okay, so you lived with your dad.
Yeah, I was living with my dad that year,
And what was his vibe?
so first of all, I didn't like. I wasn't
Did he know
very
you were having sex?
I wasn't forthcoming. I was just like, I'm hurting, right? So we get to the hospital and they do the examination.
And they told him?
I'm young, so they have to tell him. I'm underage. So they were like, sorry, but we got to tell your dad what's going on. So they go out there and they tell my dad I got gonorrhea.
And what'd he say?
He called my mom. He was like, my dad is not like a talker. You know what I'm saying? He's not like a talker. So he called my mom, I guess, to like, get her, like tell her something. And I never forget, I'm leaving the hospital. We're walking out the emergency room and I'm on the phone with my mom. And my mom was like, I don't know why your dad tripping because he had gonorrhea too when he was young. And I was like, what? Oh, thank you, Mom. That made me feel better. That made me feel better.
Yeah, but he has a dingling. That shouldn't be.
But it made me feel better to know that, you know
well,
what
let's
I'm saying?
feel better that you didn't get it again.
No, I never got gonorrhea again.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is
Now,
crazy.
where was I? let me clear the air. 'Cause
But I did get crabs one time, and that shit was crazy. What the
I got
fuck?
that. Now I got that.
The fuck? Those are real things
Yeah,
down
they were
there.
moving
It was
around.
like moving. They look like real
Yeah,
crabs.
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
you know, and I got like this 70s Pam Grier vagina hair type
Your hair.
situation.
You stick your hair.
Oh my God.
And you got to shave everything.
It looked like a whole motherfucking seafood buffet in my vagina. Like, what the fuck? But that's
Whoa.
just what you learn, you know. So the fact that you can come to your grandfather and talk to him about that is totally amazing.
And we were tight like that. We were tight like that. And I mean, you could talk to grandma like that. You could show grandma what it is.
Yeah.
I don't remember showing my mom what it was, but my grandma, she was like she was like the nurse that took care of all the newborns. So if you were in that town,
She was a real nurse.
right? The
hospital.
head nurse of the
The
newborns,
NIC unit, whatever.
right?
Yeah.
And then she's in the infant unit, and she would. If you went to school with me in that year, you knew my grandma. Your parents knew my grandma. So she was always a person that you can come to also. So I had that luxury. My parents weren't the ones I went to because they were more disciplinarians and younger. You got to think, my mother's only 18 years older than me. She had me in high school.
Oh, wow.
You know, so
Yeah. I have my son at 32.
late bloomer.
Very late. I pretty much tripped and fell on a dick, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
And how old is he now?
16.
Yeah, but see, it's over. It
Yeah,
gets so quick.
16.
They're 2, 3, you're beefing, and then it's over. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's because I had two. See, what it is if I had more kids, if I was younger, If I had more kids, I would know how to do it.
Well, did you have more kids that you just maybe they maybe just,
No, you're learning off these kids because you're
No,
young.
I mean, like, I had abortions.
Well, I didn't have the luxury to have abortions, but I could talk you into one. That I can do. But these particular ones got away.
Okay.
Right? So we're only talking about the ones that got away.
Okay.
So in order to keep these guys going and you're not in the same household, I would do it better than I would do as younger, because in order to take care of a child, you got to take care of the mother.
Right.
You don't just take
It's
care of the
rightfully
child.
so.
You
Yeah,
don't just
because
take
it
care of
doesn't
the
look
child.
right.
Well, when you're young, you don't give a shit.
Right.
You just want to take care of the child. And if you're not in sync with her, you don't really care about what her deal is. You care about the child, but that's not really the sequence of and the solutions of how you do things. If you want to take care of that child, you take care of the mother. Period. So that's what I learned in experience. But young, you're in your feelings. You got new money, you're in your feelings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got a newborn,
you got
your
new money, you
firstborn,
walk around with
you're
your
in your
dick out.
feelings.
Yeah.
Right. So when you learn as you get older, you mature, and you want to tell somebody, listen, the bad times are not going to last forever. You're going to have good times, and then they're going to be grown, and you're going to laugh, and you're going to understand what it is to have this one-on-one.
Were you ever married?
No.
How come?
Because I wanted to get it out of my system. I
But
wanted
you're
to
in your
play.
50s
I wanted to
now,
play.
So you don't.
No, but this relationship that I had when I was with my children, raising my children, I had to have that in place, and it lasted 25 years. Now, I need something better than that.
Well, what does that look like? Because why do you think you've never been married? Like, why?
I just told you.
I mean, but
you don't
no,
get married when you want to play.
No. But I
play.
get your children, but
I'm gonna
there's
wake up
gotta
one
be
day.
some woman out there that you was dealing with that was like, oh my God, this is it. We're
Yes,
gonna.
but you still want to play. See, you have to get it out of your system totally. If I'm gonna get married, it means I'm out of the game, period.
Okay.
It's no compromise. It's no sidetracking. It's no take a weekend break. I'm out. That's when you get married.
Right.
When you're out.
You still in the game? You still in the game?
There's still a thought there.
Really?
There's still a thought there.
I saw you perform last night.
And what did you think?
I was like, that nigga got a lot of stamina. Like, you was out there like, I was like, okay.
But you know what I think?
What
What sex is now to me? That I know, because we used to have. I used to come to my grandfather and I used to say, "Damn, I'm in love.
Okay.
I'm in love." And I kept saying it to him. Damn, it felt so good. I'm in love with this girl. And he'd sit back and he'd look at me and he'd go, And then I said, "Pop, I'm in love." And he said, "No, you ain't in love. You in love with coming."
Really? That's what your grandma?
And I realized that I just noticed I'm in love with coming.
You
So
sure
I'm not
you
in
might
love
have
with
been?
this
You
woman.
might have
I'm in love with coming. And I learned that from him.
Did your
Because I
grandfather?
thought I was in love.
Did
I
your
just knew
grandfather
it.
ever remarry?
No,
No.
no. But he was the best friend. I mean, if they said you can give up all your stuff for 5 minutes and start all, you got to start all over again to see him for 5 minutes. I would cry for 3.5, 4, and then I would mess with him.
But so
Ask
you
him.
you're very spiritual. I believe that we never die. I believe that we're energy.
Right.
I think that we are energy. The vessel, the body is just temporary.
True.
But the energy lives on forever and ever and ever. Like, I think that, like, so everything on this earth has the ability to not be here, right?
Right.
Like paint can burn up, dirt, somebody can eat it in a
Plants,
mud pie,
humans,
plants. Yeah,
animals.
everything cannot be here. It's like
Right.
everything can be gone. So I feel like everything is energy. Even though paint, it's still freaking energy. There's an energy in that paint. And you feel it, well, some people feel it, but it can move. So my thing is that like your grandfather is like still here.
He is. My ancestors are here because every time I perform, every time I do something great in my life, personally, privately, openly, my ancestors dance. They watch over me. They
Ooh,
talk to me.
how it look like when they be dancing? What kind of dance they be doing?
They go like
Well,
this.
well, oh, well, look, look, oh, well.
Yeah.
Do they twerk?
Oh, they twerk. They do all of that. I expect them to twerk because they're so beautiful. I
Right,
expect some
right,
little twerking.
you know?
The ancestors of slaves. I expect that. I
Wow.
expect that. I love them.
You are so intelligent. I I said I'm gonna talk about this, but then I was like, fuck DJ Academics. You know what I'm saying? Who gives
Yeah.
a fuck? But when
I love the DJ Academics though.
but it kind of like when he talked
I'm
about.
really a big fan.
But wait a minute. So what did you feel about when he said old dusty, when old rappers looking dusty, like
There are old dusty things in everything, young and old.
yeah, this
You'll
old
realize
dusty
that-
vagina
listen,
running
yes,
around
you'll
here.
realize that it's a greater discomfort when she's a young dusty or he's a young dusty.
Or old dusty.
When he's young and he's old and dusty. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You get old and dusty and everything, but when you polish it and you keep it right and you keep it sharp, then it becomes vintage. Like I always imagine like how these young rappers are, because I was young too.
Right.
And I knew 30 was old to me too.
Right,
So
yeah.
I used to think, I'm thinking like, when they're old, are they gonna look like me? Are they gonna be in that same shape? Are they gonna be able to run and jump and articulate like me? Or do they think there's automatically that's not gonna happen? I just wonder, when I'm here and you're not here and you're young and you think you're better, which you are.
Right.
I want you to be.
Right.
But can you get to this age and do what I'm doing and feel it like I'm feeling and move it like I'm moving? Are you gonna be guaranteed to do that? I just wanna see.
There is none.
Yeah, so old and dusty can be in every area. You know, you can be a young guy that has a great looking outside. It looks great, your mansion. But when I go inside, all I see is crates from the supermarket.
You living crazy in here.
You're living crazy. So the outside of things and the inside of things are two different things. Because you got money don't mean you live as good as somebody in the project.
Yeah, because you could be mentally just
You're out there.
gone.
You're gone.
Yeah.
And you're chasing what you already had and what you
Yeah.
never had. And here, somebody's living that steady pace of getting up and going to work every day and making
And happy.
and happy.
And happy.
Genuinely, because I've earned something and I'm taking care of something. And we can all delude ourselves in thinking we're doing it and we're really not.
So I'm thinking the reason why you're able to answer that question so eloquently and just be the person that you are, have you ever been in therapy?
Yes.
So I just started. Well, so I had a therapist a couple years ago. Then I got fired. I got transitioned to another period in my life because no one fires you. You just move on. And I had a therapist then, and then I stopped. And then I just started back seeing a therapist a couple weeks ago. I feel like everybody should sit and talk to somebody.
So black people don't do that. They don't feel that mechanism in them to do that. That's not our culture to go get a shrink.
Because that you're lesser
A woman
than.
brought me that. A woman that I was with for 25 years brought me to a
You
shrink.
was with a woman for 25 years and you didn't
Absolutely,
marry
I
her
did.
yet?
Well,
The
we both agreed that we both agreed that we're going to help each other in another way.
Okay.
Where marriage might be a distraction.
Okay.
I want my kids to have a mother figure that when they come see me, that I can give them what they need. I'm not a mom.
Right.
I'm not a mother. I'm not a woman.
Right.
But if I can give them what they need and not what I want, look something pretty for me, and then just treat them nice. No, I need something really for them.
Yeah.
That's gonna mother them, baby them, nurture them,
Yeah.
feed them, bathe
Be
them,
strong with them.
watch them, and be strong with them. But most of all, love my kids.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not what you can have; it's what you need.
Okay, so she came to you and said you need therapy, or how did that
I
conversation?
was already broken over another woman, so what she did was take me from the bottom and bring me back to reality. She cared for me that much. Where I was broken over my money, losing my kids, losing my sanity, and then bringing me there and fixing me.
She didn't fix you. Well,
She fixed
she
me.
fixed you, and she encouraged you to go get therapy.
Yes.
And how long? Like, or do you?
It took me 2 weeks. It just sometimes
Just
somebody,
you just
yeah,
went to a
couple of
therapist
weeks,
for
maybe
2 weeks?
no more than a month. No more than a month. Put me on a little pill, an antidepressant.
Really?
Yeah, because I was depressed.
So
See, when you go
how
from
did you
this
wean off
to
of that?
Huh?
How did you get off of that?
Sleep, rest, and just getting up and believing in yourself and believing that you gotta start from somewhere.
And how did the view of your situation change? Like, so you say you was messed up about your money, about your children, about life. How was you able to get out of that? Like, how was you able to heal?
Believing spiritually in God, going to the gym, working on myself, working on my thoughts, reading, maturing, praying, constantly working on my physical appearance, my mental appearance. And once you work on your physical and your mental at the same time, you're full circle, you're 360 degrees. And then you realize your mistakes and you have the solutions for them, because without your mental, there is no physical.
Yeah, I attend different courses, and they always say if you can physically change your body to the way that you want it to be, then you can do anything because you're mentally there.
Correct.
Like you have the discipline, you have the the mindset. It's all about the mindset.
It's all
The
about
mind is the controller of
It's
everything.
direction. It's the epicenter. It's the brains.
It's the brains.
It's the brains.
It's the brains. So would you ever consider going back to therapy? Or you feel like you don't need it?
No, all I need is my therapy would be helping people who can't help themselves. That's my therapy, like poor people and people underprivileged and people who don't have their right sanity and people who can't feed themselves. That's my therapy.
So how do you do that? You get out here.
Being a philanthropist, being there and passing out turkeys, or be there and speak on advice, or be there and be a comfort, or be there and invest my money in what needs to be there.
Yeah.
Or if you need to go to college, or you need attention,
Yeah.
or you need further study, or you need a prayer, or you just need an adult that's saying that right there.
That's what we're here for. Like, really, we're not here for money. Like, money is created in a building. Like, we make money, we print money. But I've always believed that God put us here to help each other live an abundant life. And abundance doesn't just mean, monetary. Abundance is happiness. Abundance is feeling secure. Abundance is like knowing you enough. Abundance is just like waking up like, yes, bitch, and going on your day and being like, oh man, I feel good today. Like, that's abundant. That's like what I feel like God put us here for, is to show up for each other in unity and make each other feel good
I always thought it was
and fuck each other.
Oh, I love to fuck each other. Let's not fuck each other over.
What?
Let's not fuck each other over, but I
No,
love,
not each other. No, not over. I'm just saying, no, the sense of,
no,
yes,
I love
yeah.
to fuck. Why can't we
Clearly,
fuck?
you're fucking.
I think it's
you're in
therapeutic.
50s. Like, you ain't never like really
No, I
see
think
it.
it's therapeutic to come.
So
on your own, too.
What is your dating look like right
I
now?
don't date. I never dated.
So
I'm sort of like a caveman with it.
so you reminded me. I don't know your grandfather, but it's feeling like you giving me your grandfather vibes. You giving me like,
He like hoes. I don't like hoes.
well, how do you know if she a hoe or not?
Oh, I could tell.
What am I giving?
They didn't give me a
Wait a minute. What am I giving?
Huh?
Am I giving hoish?
No.
Well, then
But
you don't know your.
No. You're giving me the potential vibe.
You don't know your
That
vibes.
anything has potential. Yes.
Oh my God.
It's like winning a race and saying the track is there. Would you like to try?
Okay, that's why you getting all this pussy. That's how you
Yes,
talk. And
yes,
your teeth
yes,
is cute too.
You inherit things from your people.
Yeah, you do.
You know, I wasn't the first one to come in my family. Were you?
No, but my mother, like, we ain't never talked about sex. That's weird. Like, I don't even
wouldn't.
think I've ever heard my mom fart.
No.
Like, nothing.
I caught my mom and dad
Doing
because I
it.
was in the other room, and you don't know how thin the walls are. So, you know, I was rolling over and I can hear them. I can hear them. I wasn't offended, but I was annoyed
Annoyed? Why?
because I
You was
didn't want to
mad?
hear it. So I banged on the wall.
How old were you?
I had to be every bit of 13, 12, 13.
I never told this story, but listen, I remember hearing my parents like having sex, right?
Yes.
So I leave my room and I get on the ground and I'm crawling because I'm
To do what?
to go see what they were doing.
I
Like,
just had to
wanted
hear
to
it. You
see
wanted
it.
to see
I
it?
wanted to see
See,
it.
that's
That's some
what-
sick shit.
Yeah, that's some
I
sick
opened,
shit.
I was like peeking in the door and I'm on my hands and knees and I'm trying to see like
Did you ever get therapy?
I'm in therapy now.
You in therapy now?
Yeah.
No wonder. Because you went a step further than I would have ever went. I just had to hear it.
Oh
and
my
I was
God.
banging on the walls.
Why did I
insulted.
do that?
They lied to me. That was the first time they lied to me.
Oh my God.
Oh, your mother's having a.
You think that's
your
the
mother's
first
having
time.
a bad dream. No, that was a lie.
That was no. Of
That was the
course,
first
you
lie.
know,
Yes.
Go on,
let me
and you
hear
was
it.
a virgin too
Oh,
at that time, right?
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you know.
Absolutely.
She wasn't getting beat up.
Everything was no with me, though. Everything was like when everybody was getting molested, I didn't get a chance to get molested because everything was absolutely not. Oh, everybody's going over here to spend the night. No. Oh,
They
everybody's
didn't let
going
you
over
do
here to have
shit. They
sleeping
didn't let you
bags.
do nothing.
No. Everybody's going over here to just do the weekend over here, and this parent will be over there. No. And I used to be like, why is everything no? They said, because it's what I could live with.
That's
What do you mean
crazy.
you could live with? What? I'm not living with you coming back here looking all fruity and all crazy and all you're already giving us a problem now. What you gonna come back here, what, doing what? And then I didn't understand it till everybody's confessing about how they got molested.
Yeah, at a
And I'm like,
sleepover.
this is why they were saying no.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Wow. And
Absolutely not.
as a single mom, it's hard to say no because you're making up for daddy issues. So I'm really the exact opposite. Like as a single mom, you're like, yes, do whatever. Yeah, you can go. Yeah. Because you're like making up for what you think is going on. So I like that no. My mom was a no mom.
I was a mommy dearest dad. I wasn't a friendly dad. I was a disciplinarian because I couldn't beat you, so I had to cuss you out.
Oh, you never spanked your kids?
No, not once. But I cuss you out. So I'm gonna talk to you like a grown person at 3, at 5. I never was on goo goo, gaga, give daddy a kiss. Hey man.
You kiss your sons though?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm talking to you like a man.
Yeah.
So if you left anything at my house and your mom has to call me, or if your mom is asking what did you do at the house and you tell her and she calls me back, I'm cussing you out.
You should write a book.
Should I?
Yeah.
Or should I just keep it to myself and just give them lessons on how to
Earlier
raise these kids?
you just said that your mission now is to help people, turkeys, whatever. Write a book, because there's so many black men out here that don't really understand the importance of being the father and the dad.
big time.
It's big time. And then you're fucking CL Smooth. What the fuck?
But it's big time to
So
be a
you
dad,
need to- you
a
need to-
black father.
And you know what your
it
book
is?
should be called?
What?
Be a fucking dad.
Yeah, be a fucking dad.
Be a fucking
Yeah.
dad.
And not go to the police station if you want to be a dad.
What is it at the police station?
Well, that's why I was a dad. Because I was a mean dad and a disciplinarian because I didn't want to go to the police station. I wanted to go see them graduate.
Oh, meaning your kids at the police. Oh,
I didn't
right.
want to go
And
to
your
the police
kid,
station.
your son's graduated with masters.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. But I didn't want, but I wasn't friendly with them. I wasn't trying to be their friend.
But you are now, though.
Oh yeah, we're like best buddies. They're like my little brothers. They're like, yeah, we talk about everything.
That's cool.
We'll see everything. We talk about everything.
You did what you had to do.
Right, because now we're grown.
Yeah.
And we don't have to. My youngest son, he got a promotion, so we talked about that for a couple of hours. It was big time because he was like, Dad, I want to make a little bit more money. And look what God did. He came down and got a promotion. And I'm just so proud of them. I tell them all the time, I can't believe I'm your dad. I can't believe
Your
it.
book is Black Man, Be a Fucking Dad.
Black man, be a fucking dad. I like that.
That's your book. Cheers. That's your
Yeah,
book.
I gotta write that down. Alizé, I gotta write that down.
Black Man, Be a Fucking Dad.
Black man, be a fucking dad.
Be a fucking dad. The fuck? And then put the fuck?
Yeah.
No, don't put the
fuck?
fuck. Don't put
No,
the
no,
fuck.
no, no.
No, don't put the
I
fuck.
like the two fuck.
I'm just looking at the. I'm
I
looking
like
at
the
the
two
book.
fuck.
I'm looking at the book.
Yeah, but that's the
Black
attraction.
Man, Be a Fucking Dad.
What lemonade you gave me? It's good.
Raspberry.
Truth serum.
Raspberry lemonade.
Talking about crabs,
Right? But
crab
that's
checks,
life, though.
child support.
That's life, though. That's life. I thank you for giving us, you know, the better years of your life to the world and telling your stories and putting your messages in there and
I appreciate
making it cool to be fucking intelligent.
Why not?
Why
you
not?
get more out of it.
Yeah, making it
And
cool
you
to
can
be
spend
intelligent.
time in the street. You know, we had the streets when it was the street. You know that, right? Before the cameras, before the bullshit, before everything had to be publicized.
Right, on
There
social
was
media.
there was some.
You,
there
did you
was
used to
some-
fight? It was your fight? Were you?
Oh, how did we even get
How do
there
you
through
not-
fighting? How do you not fight?
How do you not fight growing up in New
It
York
was called
City?
5 minutes.
Well, why was it called 5 minutes?
Because your friend would go to that friend and say, "Do you want 5 minutes?"
And then
Do you want 5 minutes?
you want 5 minutes?
Yeah.
You want 5 minutes?
Yeah. That's all it takes.
That's all it takes.
Yeah.
Whoop your ass. I mean, you made it through.
I made it through because I think I grew and learned to be spiritual, and I learned I was just a grain of sand on the beach. God did this for me. God allowed me to do this for me because my name was Dummy and Idiot when I first started out. That's all my grandfather, hey, dummy, idiot, because he expected more from me, but he accepted everything from me. So
Wow.
I appreciate him for not judging me, for not belittling me, but letting me know the truth. Hey, dummy. Hey, fool. Those were my names before
That's
it
what
was
your names,
smooth.
really?
Those are my names.
Wow.
Listen, when you have somebody that loves you, it's tough love sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
If they gave you everything, would you really be what you are?
No.
Just like
Oh.
your son, he got able to taught how to fish. His uncle taught him how to fish. So that means he's gonna have to feed me because I'm a city boy. I don't know how to fish.
Right.
They didn't teach me how to fish.
Yeah.
They taught me another way how to fish
Right.
to get money.
Yeah.
But they taught him literally how to fish.
Wow.
So we gonna eat tonight.
We gonna eat
Tonight.
tonight.
So I'm gonna stick by your son because that's my son.
And this
I'ma
nigga know how
eat.
to spit.
And
How
you know
to
what?
fish.
You know what I love about these kids?
What?
I listen to them. Do you?
Of course, I have
listen.
to.
They have so much information. They teach me.
My
I'm gonna
son
work for
teaches
them.
me all the time.
I'm
Like
gonna work for them.
my son, I learn something from him like daily, just daily,
Smart.
just about being in the world as a teenager right
We
now.
had a different world.
and-
You know that, right?
Yeah,
We
I
had to
tell,
really
you
do
know what I
it.
tell my son? I say, y'all don't have the brain muscle, like muscle matter in your brain.
Right.
Like back in the day, we didn't have cell phones at
No.
first, so we had to memorize numbers. We had to write things down.
The-
We had to look for
I lost
payphones.
my phone. I couldn't.
We had to look for payphones. We had muscle. We had to build the brain. Like we had to go outside. We had to go
We
literally
remembered
to our
all
friend's
those
house.
numbers in the phone, in the beeper. We
Yeah,
remembered
yeah.
all
You had
those
to
numbers.
memorize. You had to memorize numbers.
I
Like
was
you
saying,
had to
we
use your
remembered
muscle.
all those numbers in the beeper.
Yeah.
All those numbers.
And it's a disservice right now to young
Oh, it's
kids.
dumb.
It's a big disservice
I
because
lost my
they don't have to
phone. I was
memorize
naked.
nothing.
No, they Google it every time they answer.
Yeah, they don't know nobody's number.
But I'm like them too. I lost my phone.
And you
It
was just
like,
lost?
It was like rape.
Prison rape
It
or
was
just like
lost.
regular rape?
It was like really starting your life over again.
Was it like prison rape or regular rape? Date
Regular
rape.
rape because I wouldn't know what the prison was. I'm telling you, I ain't raping nothing. I'm doing the raping. All right?
But I'm saying
I'm
you felt
slinging the
you
dick
felt
when
a
it come
certain
to
kind of way.
Listen, Jeffrey Dahmer's gonna be my cellmate, and I'm gonna eat his ass. too.
What?
All right.
Shut up.
All right.
Shut up.
All right now.
Yeah. Oh my God. Thank you, CL. This was amazing.
I love it.
You are amazing.
I love it. I
The-
love where we at in life.
The book is called "Be Black Man, Be a Fucking Dad."
Are
You
gonna
gotta,
help me?
you
Are
gotta,
gonna help
you
me with it?
gotta,
Can you
get,
not-
you
can you
got
help
to
me
do
with it?
this. No, I
No, I'm
actually
serious.
have people
have-
because you have people help you write books,
Right,
right?
that's
So
what I'm
all
saying.
you got to do is sit down and talk and tell your stories and tell different stories, and then they come up and they get everything for you. They narrate it. They put all the punctuation. I can't write a book because I don't know where the fucking comma goes.
Are you trying to write a book?
I do have books. My life is a book.
But you didn't tell me what venture you're starting, the beginnings of it. What is it?
My t-shirt business. Or-
T-shirt business.
Yeah, my t. So I went and got a DBA doing business as about. Let me tell you something. I have my website vitaloca.com, and I've owned it for about 8 years, and I haven't even put anything on there. I just pay for it, and nothing's there.
But you're not creating any T-shirts.
Well, I do. I have created a couple T-shirts, so
For who?
for myself. It always starts for myself.
Okay, so the vagina T-shirt is
My
one.
vagina T-shirt,
And what's another one?
blessed as fuck.
Blessed as fuck.
Yeah.
So this Kiss T-shirt, is that yours?
No, this is something from
This is
Walmart.
something you purchased.
This is Walmart.
Okay, now if I wanted a CO Smooth shirt like a Kiss shirt, can you provide me that
Yes,
service
and a vagina shirt.
in a vagina?
Yeah, I can. Even though I don't have.
CL loves vagina because we can't just.
That's
go-
a shirt. CL loves vagina.
Yes, because we can't just go vagina because now it's
No,
too
no, no.
transitional.
No. My ex used to wear the vagina shirts, and dudes was like, "Yo, I want one of those," because it's saying you love vagina.
No, I need literally. I
What?
don't need figurative. I need literally.
You trying to talk me into open up, start my business?
You see, I love New York.
Yeah,
I love
I
vagina.
love vagina.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speak it into existence.
Yes, I'm gonna get you a shirt.
There you go. I love vagina, please.
I'm about to. I love vagina. Oh, not CL loves vagina, but
I
I
love
vagina.
with the heart,
I heart
heart
vagina.
vagina.
Okay, I got you. And can I get a book? Black Man, Be a Fucking Dad.
I love that.
Okay.
No, but I'm not gonna pull your vagina hair. I love that title. I love that title.
He said,
I'm not gonna pull your vagina hair.
"Yo,
I love that. I love that title.
it's
Please.
the Nothing Ass Podcast. That's what I'm talking about. Nothing Ass Pod. That's the name of the
That's what they
podcast.
say. Yeah.
This is the Nothing Ass Podcast.
Why you invite me up here? You got me talking in here.
Oh, the nothing-
Nothing ass. Is that what we? Oh my.
Well, you know,
goodness.
remember Seinfeld? Seinfeld was a show about
Yeah,
nothing.
those are white people, honey.
I like white
We
people.
need something. We need something with this
Well,
flavor.
this is called the Nothing Ass Podcast because
Nothing
we
ass?
just talk about, everything and nothing.
Well, since they got no ass, let's get some vagina going.
And that we will.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, CL.
I like
I appreciate you. Mwah. Look for the book.